Telling an anxious person, just accept that some things are out of your control, sounds wise, the kind of sentence that looks perfect on a coffee mug. The problem is, the human brain does not run on quotes, it runs on control. Not because people are stubborn, irrational, or weak, because for most of human history, survival depended on predicting danger. Your ancestors didn't overthink for fun. They overthought because the bush sometimes contained a tiger. A brain that tried to anticipate everything was a brain that stayed alive long enough to become your brain. So the mind learned a rule. If you can predict it, you can prepare for it. If you can prepare for it, you can control it. If you can control it, you are safe. From childhood, we reinforce this. Good grades, controlled outcome. Good behavior, controlled emotion. Career plan, controlled future. Society praises people who have everything together. We call it discipline, responsibility, maturity. So when life produces something unpredictable, a sudden loss, a failure, a relationship change, a plan collapsing, the brain doesn't calmly say, ah yes, uncertainty, how philosophical. It panics. First, it tries to fix. If it can't fix, it tries to deny. If it can't deny, it spirals. The suffering is rarely the event itself. The suffering is the broken expectation. Anxiety often isn't fear of what happened. It's fear that we are no longer steering the car, and we just discovered there may never have been a steering wheel. That's why advice like let go usually fails. Not because people don't understand, because their internal operating system has never practiced functioning without control. You cannot uninstall a survival mechanism with a motivational sentence. Letting go is not a decision, it is a consequence. Usually, it arrives after reality breaks the illusion of control, a major setback, a shock, or a moment where resistance becomes more exhausting than acceptance. You don't finally relax because you became enlightened. You relax because you ran out of energy arguing with reality. And strangely, that's where people begin to understand what Bruce Lee meant by be water. Water doesn't win by force. It wins by adaptation. It doesn't insist the rock move. It flows around it. It doesn't keep yesterday's shape. It changes instantly. It doesn't panic when the environment changes. It changes with the environment. Water can be a drop, a wave, a river, steam, or ice, and yet it is still water. This is not surrender, it's intelligent flexibility. Living like water doesn't mean passivity, it means shifting from controlling outcomes to responding skillfully. Instead of gripping the future, you learn to adjust to the present. You observe patterns, time your actions, pause when needed, act when useful. Acceptance is not giving up. Acceptance is recognizing the limits of control and redirecting effort toward what actually works. Rigid people break because reality always changes faster than their plans. Flexible people endure because they are not dependent on one specific outcome. In a world defined by uncertainty, strength is not the ability to dominate every situation. Strength is the ability to remain functional inside any situation. Water is not the strongest substance, but it is the one that survives every environment. And maybe peace doesn't come from holding life tightly in your hands. Maybe it comes from becoming something life cannot suffocate, a moving current, not a frozen shape.